Hello Matt, it's Thursday the 5th of February 2015. Second vlog in a row, no need to start a conversation or finish a conversation because it's your vlog on Saturday, so I am free to instantly start my three-parter movie review today. Put the light, by the way, in a little more of a strategic position, so I think you can see me a bit better today. I've actually put it there, like right down there. So I hope you might be able to see me a bit better in this vlog than you did last week. Trial and error, I'm working on it. I'm planning on making like an actual kind of mini studio thing in around the area under my bed. I filmed my first second series of daily vlogs, day one. So yeah, that'll be where I do all my stop motion from now on. So now straight on to the review. The movies I'm reviewing today are the first three Harry Potter movies: Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban. No time to waste, let's get right into it, and I'm going to just be speeding through the movies because I'm long spent on Skyfall, that's one movie. I need to go through them pretty quickly, but I'm going to go through them kind of in depth. Philosopher's Stone. I held this movie dear to my heart because it was one of the first movies I ever saw. I watched it a lot when I was younger, and I do kind of feel like I've kind of grew up with them despite being 10 years younger than them. And the story to Philosopher's Stone I think is okay, it's not amazing. It does kind of kick in later on, but the end climax of the movie is pretty good. The start of it is just Harry getting used to Hogwarts. That's kind of fun, but I don't think it's really that point that has a lot of point. In every Harry Potter movie, they, apart from probably Prisoner of Azkaban and like Goblet of Fire and Deathly Hallows, they don't get into the main story right away. So yeah. Now, so yeah, the first part is pretty fun. I mean, you see Harry, it's a very innocent movie, Philosopher's Stone. You know, the actors are very young and they're learning, and it's kind of weird to go back on them and hear all their voices and see how young they look. They're completely different from what they are now. Especially Rupert Grint. Probably if you saw Philosopher's Stone and you saw Deathly Hallows Part 2, you think they're two completely different guys except the ginger hair. So, from an acting standpoint, I don't think their skills were good. I know it hurts me to say that, but the acting in Philosopher's Stone for the three leads is pretty awful for the most part. Especially from Daniel Radcliffe. He did improve, but he's probably, gotta face it, Mark Hamill was better at Luke Skywalker than Daniel Radcliffe was at Harry Potter. But then again, the supporting cast do a pretty good job. The actor who played Hagrid's pretty good, and all that. And also the effects for the time weren't that good. Like the Lord of the Rings came out the same year, the effects look way better in that movie than Philosopher's Stone. And then Two Towers came out a year later, and that was almost as good as it is today. And then again, Phantom Menace came out 2 years before Philosopher's Stone, and that looked better. So CGI's not that good, acting's not very good, story doesn't get involved. I hold it close to my heart though, so from a nostalgic standpoint I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, but from an actual movie rating standpoint I'm going to go down to a 6 out of 10. I've got to say it's not the best Harry Potter movie. Alright, now moving on to Chamber of Secrets. Now this movie, the acting's a bit more like it is in Deathly Hallows Part 2, considering the fact that Radcliffe, Grint and pretty much all the male year 7s have got voices that sound more like today, and that is more bearable. That does make the acting less painful when deliver bad lines. I learned when I had a high voice I made mistakes. When I had a low voice, much better. So I sympathise with them. The acting is much better. I think Radcliffe probably gets his best performance in Chamber of Secrets out of any of the movies, and I'll give that actually true. He is very good here, Radcliffe. Yeah, again, not as good as Mark Hamill, but I'll probably say this is his best performance. All your main characters have improved. I think Hermione doesn't get that much screen time in this movie. That's one of the complaints I have. Hermione doesn't get as much screen time in Chamber of Secrets as she does in any of the other movies, I think. But the good thing is Rupert Grint gets quite a lot of screen time, and I like that. And anyway, they had an excuse to give Emma Watson not that much screen time because she was actually out of the movie for like the last third reason. I won't spoil it, but she was out of the movie for a third. The story of this movie is a lot better as well because it gets into it a bit more quickly, and I probably think the climax of this movie is better than the last one. And obviously the Basilisk is a major threat, and I love how it kind of goes into this kind of detective thing. That's what I like, a kind of detective story. The CGI hasn't really improved, but the good thing is they don't have... Well, it's kind of, yeah, okay, it's kind of improved actually. It's not amazing still, but it's passable. So another thing I like about Chamber of Secrets is the comedy. It died down in the later Harry Potter movies, and I could see why, but in the early days it was much more innocent, and I feel the comedy was right in Chamber of Secrets. It was better than Philosopher's Stone, much less crude. Comedy is actually very good. Some parts actually can make you laugh. And I actually really like Chamber of Secrets. I probably say it holds up better than Philosopher's Stone for me now, even with nostalgic value. I mean, nostalgic value, I'd still give it a 10 out of 10 because like it's a good movie and it also has nostalgic value. If it was from an actual movie standpoint, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Now, Prisoner of Azkaban. Now, I'm much less familiar with this movie because obviously the first two I kind of watched a lot, but the Prisoner of Azkaban I didn't really watch till like 2010. And I've got to say, I've probably watched that one the least out of any of the Harry Potter movies, but it's not a bad thing. For one, the story is, like I said, kicks in right away. And I think, as this one's the only one without Voldemort in any of it, I think... Now actually I don't think Half-Blood Prince is Voldemort in it at all. I'm not sure about that, but yeah. Sirius Black is presented as a threat, but the one thing I don't get about the movie is that there's not really an actual villain until the end. There's Peter Pettigrew, who I don't think he really should count because he only shows up at the very end. And he doesn't actually do anything that villainous. Sirius Black does, but yeah. The acting has risen from Emma Watson and Rupert Grint. They get more screen time show, but Radcliffe's acting went down. And it's such a shame because this movie actually had much more of a breaking out of the shell role. I do feel kind of sorry for him because this movie he could have been really good, but he's just average. Two of my favourite characters though are Sirius Black and Lupin. They are the standout characters in this movie because you can see like they were friends. They liked each other. They obviously played off each other well at the end. Obviously, you see Lupin's torture being. Oh, I'm not going to spoil it. You see Lupin's torture. I'm not going to say it what. You see Sirius Black as like a villain at first, but then, am I spoiling anything here? Okay, this isn't so much a spoiler, but he obviously isn't a villain at the end. So that's, yeah, those two are probably my favourite characters. And again, the thing about Prisoner of Azkaban is not many of the side characters get screen time, which I don't like because I love the side characters in Harry Potter. That's probably one of my favourite aspects of the movie. But anyway, story kicks in fast. The CGI has also improved a lot, and it's a good watch. I probably wouldn't say it's as good as Chamber of Secrets, but it's better than Philosopher's Stone. So I would probably give it a 7 out of 10. As stellar as Chamber of Secrets, but it's worth a watch. It's worth at least a watch. I know a lot of you are going to be saying, but Prisoner of Azkaban is the best. Well, it's my opinion. I have the right to my own opinion. You're going to see later on in these movie reviews that I have an opinion and it's strong. Just wait until we get to movies like Lord of the Rings. Wait until we get to movies like, I don't reveal it now, but wait until we get to DreamWorks anime movies. Then you see my opinion starting to really go. Right, there you go, my opinions of the first 3 Harry Potter movies. Next week I'm going to be doing Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince. And Matt, I will see you in real life tomorrow, in vlog form tomorrow, and I will see you on Saturday.